up today for you. It's all about the business of vacationing, operating in resort communities. And first up, we are going to meet Ann O'Neill. She is the owner of two businesses. They're both tourism-related businesses in North Carolina. The first one is the Crystal Coast Sanctuary, which is sort of a bed and breakfasty type of operation. And then the second business that she and her husband John own together is Beaufort Cruises. As the name indicates, it's a cruise boating and cruising business. So she is coming on first. And then after that, at the bottom of the hour, we are going to meet Tammy Nicklow. Tammy is the owner of Island Encore Consignment Shop, and that's also in North Carolina. And I have had the opportunity to actually go there. So I believe that we've got Ann O'Neill calling in. And before I bring Ann on, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the location that these two businesses are in. They are in an area called Atlantic Beach and Morehead City in North Carolina. They're coastal communities, and Atlantic Beach is actually on the Bogue Banks, which is a little bit south of the Outer Banks. So most people are very familiar with the Outer Banks in North Carolina. And the Bogue Banks is south of that area. So these two businesses are in that general sort of Crystal Coast, Emerald Isle, Bogue Banks, Atlantic Beach, Morehead City community. It's called Carteret County, by the way. And I had the opportunity to go there twice in the last 6 months. And every time I go, it's just so relaxing and so just quaint and friendly and everything you want from, well, everything I want from a beach community. It's very quiet and there's not a lot to do. And except shop and, you know, go to restaurants and go to the beach and go to the pool, which is my kind of vacation. So I'm so glad that Ann O'Neill made the time to come on Richmond Business Babes. So let me tell you a little bit about Ann. She and her husband, as I mentioned earlier, operate two businesses. One is Beaufort Cruises, and the other is the Crystal Coast Sanctuary, which is a sort of like a bed and breakfast for family reunions, small groups. It's close to the beach. It's close to the historic district of Beaufort. But what I find very interesting about Ann O'Neill is she is definitely a serial entrepreneur. She's a world traveler. She's had a business with import exports. She's operated a hair salon, even though she's not a hairdresser. She's owned a hair salon. She's operated a clothing store. She's lived on a houseboat. And born and raised in Raleigh, she and her husband, unbeknownst to them, went to the same church. But where did they meet? Not at church. They met in the island of Bali while she was in Singapore. So Ann is one interesting business babe, and she's from North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina, and we're very happy that she's making time to come on. Welcome to Richmond Business Babes, Ann O'Neill. Hello. It's great to have you on. You're just a very interesting person, and I would love for you to walk us down your career path of how you got to the point of owning Crystal Coast Sanctuary and Beaufort Cruises.
Oh, Lordy, like she said, I met my husband even though we were a mile apart. We actually met 31 years ago this month when we were both living in Singapore, actually. Oh. And then I was in Bali for 2 years as well. He was a commercial deep sea diver on the oil rigs, and I have been to for that. And then I had to come back to the States to run the States side. So he just, magically followed me back. You, I guess you did.
I'm with you, Ann. I'm with you on that one. I'm with you on that one. He followed you.
And then, we had kids. He went into the real estate business because he was one of these people to have, sitting behind the desk job. He was having lived on the oil rigs for 6 years. But, anyway, and I was fortunate enough to be a stay-at-home mom for 10 years. And then she bought a big rental property, and one of the rental properties was a hair salon. And the girl who owned it quit. She had a new baby. My kids were headed in the middle school. And so my husband was like, you need to run the hair salon. I was like, you're crazy. I don't even have a hair dryer. I really want to do the hair salon. You can do it. You can do anything. I'll give it 1 year, and then after that, it's just run the property to somebody else. Well, it was 5 years of the first I left that job because honestly, when you leave there, they're happy. So then I turned it into a little boutique, and that's kind of how I got into the retail business and started selling accessories and jewelry and stuff like that. And then it was in a old house, and the house was really, it needed major renovation. So instead, we decided to sell it. It was time to move on. And then I followed the women's college for 10 years, and that was really fun. And during all that time, let's see, it would be 20 years ago, exactly, we instead of a beach house for our second son, we bought a 40-foot boat. And my kids grew up living on the boat every summer, and that was really fun, and we loved the boat life. And then we ended up selling that boat about 10 years ago, and for 3 years we were boatless, and that killed me because I am a boat girl. I love the river, I love being on the boat. Me and the kids are in college, it's just really teenagers. So we found a beautiful boat, and we now have a 42-foot Benetton Swift trawler that we love. I'd say it's kind of RV on the water, but it's a very, very, very nice boat. 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, full kitchen. Then I guess the year before COVID, I always tell my husband, eventually, we're going to get old enough that we're not going to live in a boat. We're going to lease some property down here because I love the Beaufort area. We both do. And we were actually just riding down this dead-end road one day, and we saw a for sale sign in front of an old church. And my husband said, I was wondering about an old church. My head swiveled around about 3 times. I was like, what? And so I said, well, just look at it. It was like in April, it was pretty day, not a real big day. So the guy, the realtor came over and showed it to us, and we walked in, and it was in really bad shape. Even though they were still having services here, it was very run down and pretty tipsy. And my nose turned off, and I was like, I don't know about this. But then the minute I walked out the back, it is 3 acres of some of the prettiest property in Carteret County. And everybody who comes here, people who are from here, whose families have been here for generations, they walk out back and they're like, oh my God, I never knew this existed. And we have the church itself sits on 3 acres on we have American forest. The marsh bridge on a tidal creek which feeds the bay where our big boat is. So as the crow flies, my boat that I live on, Beaufort, is maybe a mile away.
Okay.
Not even, maybe 3/4 of a mile.
So the tidal creek that your coastal,
Creek.
okay, that is not deep enough for your big boat.
Correct. It is a tidal creek. It maybe gets to be about 6 feet deep,
Oh, okay.
but it's not considered a navigable riverway.
Okay.
Now, we can take kayaks and canoes and very small skiffs.
Uh-huh.
That also there is a bridge for cars that is a low water bridge that you have to go under to get here. I can never take my big boat back here, even you can't even bring a 20-foot skiff that has a hard top on it
Right.
under the bridge.
Right.
So if you have a small boat, yes, you can get under the bridge, but only between mid and high tide. And I even had some friends come over here in the kayaks one time, and it was really hot. They ended up having to get out and pull their kayaks because it was so low.
Then that's good fishing there.
Is
Is
home to so many creatures. We have so many different kinds of gorgeous birds, and we have deer, and we have just all kinds of nature.
dude, is there
One
good?
mile from
good-
downtown Beaufort.
Is
It
there
takes me 15 minutes to walk to the restaurant.
nice? Is it good fishing there?
Yeah, very good fishing.
Do you have a dock?
I shouldn't say this to the world, but yeah, the fishing is quite good back here.
Do you have a dock?
And flounder and trout, depending on the season. Sure,
Yeah.
we've even seen sea turtles back here.
Oh, nice.
Um,
Do you have a dock?
we do not have one thing. We do not have any alligators. People talk about that. No alligators in this creek that we know of.
Uh-huh.
But when we you couldn't see from the building out to the creek. It was so overgrown with vines and scrappy little trees, and people had dumped trash. We pulled a toilet out of the marsh. We took big tires out of the marsh. And my husband and I have done 80% of the work on this property. And it's really been transformed.
Well, now yeah, no, I saw a picture of it on your website. It's very nice. So what did you purchase it for, and what did you put into it financially to make it viable? Yeah. Uh-huh.
165, which is last year.
165,000? Oh my goodness gracious. I cannot even believe. I mean, just for 3 acres alone is unbelievable.
Exactly.
Oh my.
Now, for the first year that we owned it, we couldn't figure out what we were going to do. We were like, oh my God, what are we doing? And we literally got it from the stop. He made the
Yeah.
which made me very happy.
And what did you invest into it?
The church, the interesting thing about this is the church itself, there's two buildings and they're attached by a breezeway,
Uh-huh.
and the church was actually built in 1933, 9 miles east of here in a little village called Betty, which is near Harper's Island. A lot of people refer to Harper's Island, which is on 70 East if you're headed down to Cedar Island, Harper's Island, Cedar Island. And in 1979, the church was picked up and moved to this location. And that is when they added on the second building, which is the fellowship hall, which we converted into what I call a workshop.
Uh-huh. Now, how would you define your Crystal Coast Sanctuary? Would you define it as a bed and breakfast, or it doesn't really? Yeah. Okay. Well, it's yeah, but it's more than an Airbnb, but it's not really.
Family camp / retreat.
Okay.
So it's perfect for families, extended. So we rent a lot to extended families. We rent a lot to church groups, with youth groups, adults, church groups. I've rented to scuba dive groups. I've rented to fishing buddies.
Oh, nice. And how many? That's funny. How many people does it sleep?
You can rent just the motel, which is we turned it. We got rid of the stage and basically it was
Oh, we lost her. Anne, we can't hear you any longer. Anne, if you can hear us, call us back. We can't hear you. You want to hang up on her and have her call back? Yeah. Well, anyway, we were just this good time for station identification. So you are listening to Richmond Business Babes here on WRWK 93.9 FM, The Work in Midlothian, Virginia, and also now syndicated on WRIR, Richmond Independent Radio 97.3 FM. In Richmond, we are an encore presentation with WRIR, and we were just talking to Anne O'Neill. This show is all about business women in resort communities. So Anne O'Neill, along with her husband John, own two businesses. One is the Crystal Coast Sanctuary in North Carolina, and the other one is Beaufort Cruises. And what she was telling us is that she got a steal of a deal buying the Crystal Coast Sanctuary. It was an old church that they have reconfigured to be. It's not really a bed and breakfast. It's kind of for family reunions or, camps or groups, and it's on a tidal creek in the Beaufort, North Carolina area. So Beaufort is near Morehead City, and Morehead City is the city you cross when you leave Morehead City. And I know this area because I vacationed in the Atlantic Beach area. So when you cross the bridge from Morehead City, then you're in the coastal community of Atlantic Beach. And that's a great area. I almost didn't want to talk about it on the show today because I don't want more people going to it. But it's south of the Outer Banks, and it's on an island called Bogue Banks. And when you cross Morehead City in North Carolina, you cross the Intercoastal Waterway over that bridge, then you're in Atlantic Beach, which is, I guess, the biggest town, so to speak, on the island of Bogue Banks. And Atlantic Beach is not a big town. It's very quiet. It's got some nice restaurants and bars. It's got I think it's got a bike rental and, a couple of hotels and motels. And then as you continue down the island, then you hit Pine Knoll Shores, and then I think there's Indian Beach, Emerald Isle. And as you continue down, then you have to exit the island and go back to the mainland, which is Swansboro. And then if you continue south, eventually you're going to wind up in Wilmington, North Carolina. But that whole area is just south of the Outer Banks. And it's a much smaller island. It's very quiet. The biggest, it's very family oriented. The biggest thing in the middle of the island is this mega mini golf, with the hills and the waterfalls, and then they've got the go karts and all that. But that's like that's the biggest thing there. So it's just a quiet place. It's very family oriented, and my husband and I went there twice actually this year. We went once in the late spring, and then we just went in August, and it was really great. So, but since we're waiting for Ann O'Neill to come back on, and you're listening to Richmond Business Babes, as I mentioned, this is about tourism. I wanted to ask my producer, the remarkable Ron, according to this survey that I have read on a website, IPX1031.com. I don't know what it means. I didn't have time to research it. So who knows how valid this survey is. But they took a survey in April of Americans who intended to travel. And I don't know what the sample size was. I really didn't do my research too well. But anyway. Filler. This survey concluded that 92% of Americans, and this was done in April, plan to either hit the road or take to the skies this year for travel. And I said, well, that's a very vague way of looking at it. If you're flying, okay, you're definitely traveling. But to hit the road, is that me going to Yorktown and that's traveling? I mean, what defines hit the road? Is it leaving one state and going to another state? But anyway, 92% of Americans plan to do some traveling. Then guess what the average planned expenditure was going to be? Let me tell you this. Last year it was $5,300 in 2024. For, I guess, total travel, right? Guess what they were estimating it was increasing to this year?
Thank you for the hints. I was going to go down. Well, let's say 9,000.
$10,244. That's a lot.
It's a lot. That's inflation.
Yeah, and they said nearly 2 in 3 people plan to use their credit card travel points to help cover the expenses, but they're definitely going to spend. And then they broke it down further, and they said, guess what percentage will take a 1-week vacation, 7 days? What percentage of this sample said that they would take a 1 week?
I'd say at least half.
No, they said it was just slightly more than 25%, so a little bit more than a quarter. I don't know. Like when we go, we just seem to always just take a super long weekend, like a 5-day kind of thing. So I'd really like to take a 2-week vacation, quite frankly.
Yeah.
It's hard to break away for that long. Then 21% said they're going to take less than a week. So I would fall into that category. Then get this, Ron. 35% said they were going to take up to 21 days. That's 3 weeks.
Still got some money set aside.
Yeah, a lot of those bonus points on their credit card, right?
Yes, so.
And then what percentage said they were going to take a month or more?
5.
17%. You know what I was thinking? A lot of baby boomers now, I think, do the big traveling, like they'll go to Europe and do that Viking cruise and all, one talks about the river cruise. And my husband has a very close friend who has been in Italy for, I think he's returned now, for like 6 months. He did, there's a term for this when you're on a vacation, but you're learning something. I think it's called a skillcation, like skillcation or something. And he studied oil painting in Italy for like 6 months.
You learned Italian.
Yeah. So are you planning to go on vacation at all?
Oh, for sure I am.
You went to Michigan. That was a working vacation.
That really counts. I've been there for years. No, I would like to go to places. In fact, the other day, my neighbor who was she's from Ethiopia. She's keyed on. I mean, she said, you should travel. You should travel. You don't know what you're missing. And I think she's right. Because she goes to Africa twice a year to see relatives. And it's very true. I think if you don't get to other cultures and realize life is totally different from other places, and we look different from other places.
Yes.
And I think it's important.
Have you gone abroad?
Well, Michigan, no, if you don't come Michigan. I went to Alaska. I went to Canada a couple of times. First time I count. And I went to
Why doesn't that count?
Well, I mean, they look like us. They sound like us, except maybe a little bit nicer, less easy to fool. But it's very similar. I have relatives from Canada, and they almost seem like normal people.
Where did you go in Mexico?
Oh, just across the border. Like, I think it was gosh, it was Tijuana
Okay.
one time and El Paso one time.
Yeah. What's across from El Paso? Juarez. When we went on a cross country vacation in 2002, right? And the kids were 14, 12, and 10. And we asked each of our daughters where they wanted to go. And when we were in Texas, I think it was Mary who wanted to go to Mexico. So we said, all right, well, we'll go to Juarez. Little did we know that's a very dangerous city.
Yeah.
And we're just walking around, la la la, just
During the day, right?
during the day. But we just walked over the bridge, and
Yeah. Well, things have changed a lot.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Well, you're talking 23 years ago, so.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this was an interesting survey. I don't know how valid it is, but it said out of the people they surveyed in 2024, 50% of additional people said they were eager to travel. No, excuse me, I got that wrong. The people they surveyed in 2025, 50% of that group said that they wanted and intended to travel more in 2025 than they had in 2024. And I think we've got our guest Ann O'Neill back on the line. So somehow we got disconnected, but she called back. Thanks for calling back, Ann. Oh, so you were still blabbing away. Okay. Oh yeah. I've been talking about you and about travel for the last 5 minutes. So let's pick up. No, that's okay. Let's pick up. No problem. We've only got about 3 or 4 or 5 minutes left. So let's talk about the Crystal Coast Sanctuary. Describe how it would be perfect for families or groups. Tell us about that.
If you look at the Airbnb on the top, people actually groups that staying here because there's enough room to be spread out. You can rent one side and it sleeps up to 14 to 16 and the hotel side. If you want to add on the sanctuary side, that has another 5 queen-size beds, 2 queen-size mattresses. Now it is like a family camp, so it's walking in with other people, so it's got to be for people who are comfortable with that. But extended families love it. All ages.
What is the maximum it sleeps? The maximum it sleeps for both guys?
25.
Oh, that's really great. And so, if I was going to rent the entire facility, right, and for a week, what would the cost of that be?
It's $1,125 per night, $1,125 per night.
Okay.
So, in the summer months, pretty much Memorial Day, I have a 3-night minimum.
Okay.
And between Labor Day and Memorial Day, so season, I have a 2-night minimum.
Yeah.
And if you do want to have an event here with more than 25 people, say a wedding or a birthday party, I have for here. So if you want to have more, there is a $1,500 fee to have more than 25 people on the property.
Okay. And then you can put up a tent or, like a,
like an event thing. Yeah.
right. So then they would be allowed to like put up like the tents that they have for outdoor weddings and things like
Sure.
that. Okay.
And the nice thing about this is this is we aren't with. I mean, I do have 6 large folding round tables that you can use. And I have about 75 folding chairs because when I bought the place, it had those folding chairs here, so I kept them.
Yeah.
And we're welcome to use those. We do have our very first wedding chair this weekend, and we're planning on using them.
That's nice.
So we-
Good. Well, before you got disconnected, we were talking about what steel you got for this property. It was $165,000 for the old church facility and the bunkhouse, and then the 3 acres on the Tidal Creek. What did you invest in it to renovate it? What was the cost of that?
Well, my husband and I have done 80% of the work ourselves.
Uh huh.
And honestly, I haven't had to do it. I'm not good with numbers. We just slowly over 6 years just keep plugging away, adding on. We added on the new big porch. I would say that's the biggest expense that we had. I mean, really, we had a handyman to build the basic bedroom walls, but John and I finished everything off. We hung out the doors, we do all the painting, the changing, the painting.
Yeah.
We do all the work ourselves.
My producer Ron is nodding his head because he owns some rental properties and he's just nodding his head. Yeah, he knows what you're talking about. Yeah.
It is a labor of love, and we love it here so much. I mean, our kids are like, they're so cute. They're 30 and 32, and they're like, Mom, this is going to be the generations to come. The O'Neill homestead, our family, our kids, and our grandchildren, and their grandchildren are just going to love this place forever.
Yeah. Have you considered putting a pool in? Yeah. No.
No. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of trees. The only place we couldn't put a pool would be in the front yard. I'm just going to do that.
Yeah.
We have the maritime it's open, so we've got a big patio out there. We've got the big covered porch, and then the big fire patio area. And then the next big thing we're going to do out there is put a putting green in.
Oh, nice. Great.
I'm not the best. So we want to put a putting green out there. And just going out. And the really cool thing about this, I forgot to mention, the south of the property, which borders the Tidal Creek, is an old railroad bed.
Oh.
We can it's just gravel now, the railroad ties are all gone, but it was an old railroad, it was a private railroad that ran from the Menhaden boats with unload the Menhaden fish.
Right.
Onto these rail cars and take it, I would say about 5 miles, and it went straight through our property.
Yeah.
To another location where they had fish meals, and they would use the Menhaden fish to make it.
Yeah.
It's just got so much history here.
Oh, it's fantastic. Well, tell everyone how to get in touch with you because we're just about out of time, Ann O'Neill. So how do they get in touch with you?
I'm still working on it, but it is live, so you can go to it. But if you look at it, I'm not from there, but it is current. And the website is crystalcoastsanctuary.com. People can also just call me or email me, but all that's on the website. But should I give out my phone?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, it's 919-274-6162. And if you leave a message, because if you don't leave a message, it's automatically my phone says it's spam. So you have to leave a message and say what you're calling about, and then I'll call you back. But I don't know if you got the chance about we went to a lot of church fruit. These fruits as well as adult fruit. So, and Scott fruit.
Yeah, that's great.
It was a great stop.
Very good. Very good.
Groups.
Yeah.
Just all different groups.
Yeah. I like the Mahjong one.
Yeah. CruiseBeaufortNC.com is my boat charter. We during COVID and decided to we take people out on just 2 hour little cruises on our boat, which is a trawler. And really different from the ferry boats that you see around here, and not a sailboat, it is a power boat, and we take people out on that. So we've had 2 people get married on it, and another one in about 2 weeks, another couple is getting married on it. So,
that's nice.
That's another fun thing we do.
That's wonderful. Well, Ann O'Neill, it has been such a pleasure to talk with you all about Beaufort, North Carolina, not to be confused with Beaufort, South Carolina, right? Because they're both spelled the same.
Really good.
Yeah. So, and the Morehead City area and the whole Atlantic Beach area. So I do thank you for coming on. Thank you for calling us back. We were like, what happened to her?
On my side, it was still, you were still there. So,
Yeah.
I didn't know that we were cut off.
That's okay. All right. Thank you.
I enjoyed talking to you. Anybody has any questions, just give me a shout. I love talking to people. And I can take time with people and show them the property. So that's a fun thing for me to do as well.
Very good. Well, Ann O'Neill of Crystal Coast Sanctuary and Beaufort Cruises, thank you so much for coming on Richmond Business Babes. All the best to you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye. All right. Well, she's a lot of fun. She's a very energetic, adventurous woman. And I'm sorry we lost her there for a few minutes, but this is Richmond Business Babes here on WRWK 93.9 FM, The Work, and also now syndicated on WRIR, Richmond Independent Radio 97.3 FM, as an encore presentation on WRIR. And this show is about the business of vacations operating in resort communities. And as you know, our first guest was Ann O'Neill, a serial entrepreneur, as I say, because she's had so many different businesses. She owned a hair salon. She owned a clothing and accessories boutique. She owned a import-export business along with her sister-in-law. She met her husband in Singapore. She's a traveler. Now she owns a boat, and she's got her captain's license along with her husband, John, and also the rental facility called Crystal Coast Sanctuary. And again, that's in Beaufort, North Carolina. So coming up next is Tammy Nicklow. Now, Tammy is the owner of Island Encore Consignment Shop. And let me tell you a little bit about Tammy. I actually met her in person when I was vacationing in Atlantic Beach, North Carolina. And I went into her consignment shop because I really enjoy thrifting and all of that. So I think Ron, is she on the other line, Ron? Is that Tammy? Is that Tammy? No. Oh, okay.
You're going to be on board.
I'm sorry, Ron?
Okay.
Okay, all right. So since Tammy owns a consignment store, I have information from the Saturday Evening Post, the September-October 2024 issue. It's an article by Cable Newhouse. And what they wrote about is the joy of thrifting. Secondhand shopping can be a first-rate experience. And I am personally, I personally enjoy thrifting a lot. And they said, according to one national study, the average person saves $1,760 a year by going to thrift stores. Or even shopping online on sites such as The Real Real. And surprisingly, according to Statistica, about 2/3 of Americans at least occasionally patronize thrift stores, including shoppers from the upper echelon of the economy. And now Gen Zers are, probably leading the way because of their creativity with fashion.
And Tammy's here.
Oh, Tammy's here. Okay, so let me properly introduce Tammy Nicklow. She is the owner of Island Encore Consignment Shop, and she has owned that shop for, I believe, several years. She's very active in the community there, and I believe it's on the Bogue Banks island. I'm not sure if it's Pine Knoll Shores. No, it's Indian Beach, But she's very active in the Indian Beach community, and also supports environmental nonprofits there, such as the Sea Turtle Patrol. Also, yeah, we got a round of applause there from my producer. Also, I know she supports some nonprofits such as the Girl Scouts and other ones that her granddaughter's involved in, by allowing them to sell things that support their nonprofits in her store. So welcome, Tammy Nicklow, to Richmond Business Babes.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It was a wonderful introduction.
Well, you are a wonderful lady to make time to come on. And if you've just tuned in, by the way, I just want you to know that Island Encore Consignment Shop is a shop in the Atlantic Beach area of North Carolina. So that is south of the Outer Banks. And so walk us down your career path as to what you did before opening your consignment shop, and then what year you opened it and what it's like running it now.
So prior to opening my shop, everybody always asks me the question of what made you open a consignment shop.
Mm-hmm.
My husband and I went to high school together, and when all of our friends were out and about, and Friday night partying, him and I were like, we need to go to bed early so we can have a yard too.
Yeah.
And all of our friends were like, you two are crazy. But we've always loved thrifting and consignments and things like that. So, moving forward, we got married out of high school. She went to the Marine Corps for 23 years. And then I taught something called the Military Academic Skills Program on base for Marines and sailors to increase schooling in the military. And when he retired from the Marine Corps, he was like, we need to get brave. And what brought us out here first was he has a bicycle shop on the island. He rents out beach gear, bicycles, umbrellas, beach chairs, boogie boards, whatever people want, cornhole boards. And so that's how it started. And then the building he was in was a little too big when he first started. And that's where he said, you need to open a consignment shop. So I was brave. Opened the consignment shop, a little small 1,500 square foot building. That turned into us moving out and getting a 4,500.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because it's right on the main drag. I mean, there is only one main drag, right, going down the island, and is that called Salter Path? I think it changes names as you go from town to town.
That's right.
Yeah.
Salter Path is my island in Indian Beach.
Right.
If you blanket Salter Path, and then we have Pine Knoll Shores, and then we have Emerald, driving into Emerald.
Right.
Yeah.
So what was that? Was that a small grocery store originally, or
it was originally an IGA food land? and it was half the size. I moved into it, and it was 15,000 square foot. So from 1,500 to 4,500, and we decided to buy that building, which is an old IGAC land.
Uh-huh.
It was half that size, but he became very popular in the 90s, and we added on.
Oh,
And so
okay.
that's how it became.
It's huge. I mean, it's everything. It's like a thrifting paradise. And I love consignment shops and I love thrifting. And when I walked in there, I was like, oh, I need time. I need more time. This is like a 2-day trip. But
Everybody says that
yeah.
I have over 2,000 consigners,
Oh,
and a lot of them are second homeowners, and some locals, consign there as well. And it's just become a staple in the community. They'll come and become like a mom and pop store, really. People
yes.
came and I would joke about it and say, I'm their therapist, I'm their psychiatrist, I'm their friend, and we've been there almost 17 years.
Oh, okay. So now, do you own that property or are you leasing it? It sounds like you own it.
I own it.
Oh, that's very valuable real estate. What did you pay for that 17 years ago? It's got a great parking lot too.
$2 million, but I own the trailer park behind it as well.
Oh wow. Okay, so
Yeah.
$2 million for that, and now was that just you and your husband, or do you have also other partners?
No, just me and my husband.
Wow. And then
Big scary.
and then you have the lobster truck in front, right? The food truck, that's the lobster truck.
In front of us, and that is just as popular.
Uh-huh.
People will travel 34 hours just for a shrimp.
Is that right?
It's very popular.
And then that also attracts people to your store, right?
Right. Yeah, we bounce off of each other. They'll come in to eat lunch and say, oh, look, you're still behind, while they're eating their lunch.
Yeah.
And then vice versa. They'll come to the store for something. They're like, is that the truck good? So we bounce right off of each other.
That's great.
We love each other.
And I think I mentioned this to you when I first met you, and your granddaughter was there, and I bought 2 pairs of earrings from her. And what was that for the Girl Scouts, or what was that for?
I know, dance. My granddaughter does cheerleading and dance.
Oh, okay. So that's great that you support, the community efforts and the nonprofits and the Island Turtles and all that. But when I first met you, Tammy Nicklow, I said I saw your ad in the Four Corners Diner that's in Atlantic Beach, because they have that little brochure, and I was looking through it and I was like, oh, this is the place that I saw the ad in. So, but what I liked about your shop is, well, first of all, you had a lot of mid-century modern, like retro kind of furniture and things, and I really like that. But what I really found interesting about it is just chock full of pretty much anything and everything. And I want to ask you, when you first opened the larger space, and that was 15,000 square feet, that's what it is now. Okay. When you first opened that, did you look at your husband, Brian? It's Brian, right? Is your husband? Yeah. And did you say, how are we ever going to fill this? Because it's full.
Yes.
Okay.
That was exactly what I said to him. I said, we're going to have so much room in here. My granddaughters were actually roller skating in there.
That's funny.
And they just love it in there.
Yeah.
And they have a little hideaway very back in the store where we don't have any furniture or anything back there. But yes, I joke around with my customers and tell them I even have a kitchen sink and things like that. So we do have everything from jewelry to beachy decor to furniture to albums and TVs and
And you have clothing and purses and dishes and small appliances. So but I've just in particular noticed the really cool sort of retro items and furniture, and I was like, ooh, there's things I really want, but I can't bring them back, because I'm in Richmond, Virginia, obviously, not North Carolina, but anyway, so how did you get from the 15,000 square foot, where it was open enough that your granddaughters could roller skate, to it being jam packed? Like, what was your strategy to build up the vendors? How did that?
Well, I tell you, it really wore them out. I mean, luckily for us, our customers really like my husband and I would talk to the wall. to me. So I'm very personable. I love to talk to people. I love to meet people. And so I think we just started getting a reputation of, we're good, honest people, just good, hardworking people, trying to make a living. And people started bringing me their items and telling word of mouth, from word of mouth to word of mouth. And like you said, I leave my parking lot open so the CTO patrol can come over and sell their T-shirts and their whatever it is that the ladies make during that time to sell. I also have my parking lot open for all the cheerleaders, for some of those that cannot afford to pay for the practices for cheerleading in the competition. So we also leave it open for them to do donations there in the parking lot. So
That's nice.
so word of mouth just gets around, and people want to come see what it's all about, and that is how it got jam packed.
And
I think so. We've got over 2,000 consigners now, so they have
Okay.
stuff.
so how does that work as a business model with the consigners? Like, is any portion of the inventory owned by you and Brian? Like, do you or not?
Some of it is. Sometimes people don't want to consign them, donate it to us. Our goal when we first opened was we thought we were going to go to auctions and buy our own stuff and get out there and buy stuff for ourselves. But one, we didn't have to because we got sold so fast, and two, it just was too much to be able to go to an auction. So we didn't have the time for that.
Yeah.
So we just really count on everybody else to bring us their items, and they've never disappointed.
Well, and when I walked through it, I didn't realize like there were actual booths because it's all kind of integrated. So is that by design, or did it just evolve that way? Or are there certain areas that are booths? Like, if I were a consigner, what would be my investment, and what is the structure for me as a consigner?
Okay, so you come in, you fill out a contract, put all your information into the computer. I have a great program. Once I put your information into the computer, it generates you a consigner number. So we do not have booths. Everything is just given to us, and we sell it for them. But their consigner number, once I price the item, that item gets a certificate on it with the consigner number, the description of the item, and how much it costs.
Okay.
And then we split everything 50-50. A lot of consignment shops are now 70-30 and 60-40. I don't feel like that's fair. I'm just selling it for them. It's their stuff. So I just stay 50-50. I've always stayed 50-50.
Okay.
And they get half, and we get half. And that's always so happy. And if it doesn't sell out for a while, 99.9% of my consigners are going to move it on. So I work with Hope Missions and work with the homeless, and we have people who are fighting addiction. And that is where we set up everything, because they have a picture as well.
Yeah, I think I've been there. That's in Morehead City, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I've been there.
So everything goes to that.
Yeah, when I go to a resort community, I check out all the thrift stores. I enjoy that. I'm right there with you and your husband, and with yard sales and all of that. I'm always like that.
Me too. We can find one of a kind items. My consigners bring me in items with tags still on them, bags, they'll never open them.
Yeah.
And then they bring me in one of a kind items. I actually have to ask, what is that? So
Right.
it's constant,
Yeah.
There's always revolving every single day. I get to the point where I now make appointments instead of people just rolling in because it was getting too much. Sometimes people roll up with a U-Haul.
Right.
I don't have the room anymore, 15,000 square feet, we just do have it full.
Oh, it is full. It's jam-packed.
I just go out every day. We're still very busy, even though we're off season now. We're still walking and rolling in there every day. So it's nice, and I enjoy people coming in my door. It just makes me happy. It doesn't even have to buy anything. It just makes me happy.
Yeah, it was a very friendly feel. Yes, I remember that. Now, Tammy, Nicklow, we're almost out of time, but you brought up something which was the cost of the property, and you also bought the mobile home park behind it, correct? So okay, so that the entire purchase was $2 million.
Right.
So are you, and when did you buy that purchase? Was that
10 years ago? We rented it first, about 10 years ago, 11 years ago.
and are you profitable? Like, is the profit primarily coming mostly from the mobile home park?
Mobile home park and night shop are combined between the two.
Right, but is it like, which one is more profitable? I would, in my mind, I would think that the mobile home park,
It is. Mobile home
that's
park
a
pays,
consistent,
a good part of the mortgage.
yeah,
And then I pay like all that. Sometimes we have to buy in, put a new sewer in, or we have to put in, do something with the land. They own the trailer, we own the land.
right.
So anything wrong with the trailer inside is their responsibility. The rest of it's on that. So it depends on what's going on with the land and the property.
Now, does the trailer park, which is behind your shop, and your shop's on the main drag there, in Indian Beach, North Carolina, the coastal community there, and then does the trailer park abut up against the intercoastal waterway for the sound? Wow. Well, I've always thought about all the mobile home communities that I've seen, in North Carolina, and then you see them in Florida and everything, and you think, is it worth it to keep that when you could have a big developer come and say, I'll give you $5 million, I want to put up a hotel or resort?
It's funny you said that, because for me, it's my heartstrings battle with my brain as far as this 30-year generation behind me in this mobile home park.
Uh-huh.
It's just one family member who buys it from the next family member, when that family member gets too elderly to come anymore. And so I battle with that. When I first bought the property, I had a lot of the mobile home owners come to me and say, please, you're not selling, are you? Are you going to sell these? We're like, no, we're going to cross our mind.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep it as long as we can.
Yeah.
Because it is generational for all these families, and I'm not going to take that.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, tell everybody where you are, because we're just about out of time. But tell our listeners where you're located, and if they ever are down that way, how to get to you.
Okay, yes, we are 1502 Salted Path Road in Indian Beach. We are on the Beaufort Bank. We are considered the Southern Outer Banks, not the Outer Banks, but the Southern Outer Banks. All on one island. We have one road in and one road out.
Yeah.
I mean, two lanes. But and we're literally right in the middle of the island.
Yeah, it's a great location, and it's a great store. I'm so happy. Yes, I wish I could be there after the show. Because you said you have 30% off. Yeah.
We're going to go hard. We're going to go hard. So that was nice. But as you get to know this, the whole line is getting noticed.
Yeah.
We have people coming in the winter, so it's kind of nice.
Yeah. Well, and I said to my producer, the remarkable Ron, I said, I don't know if I should be doing this show, because I'm showcasing, the Bogue Banks and Atlantic Beach and Indian Beach, and it's like, I like it the way it is. I don't want anybody else to go there.
I know, right? That's what people say all the time.
Yeah.
It's like a hidden gem.
Yeah.
It's like a hidden gem, but it is beautiful. It is beautiful. I get you to breathe.
Oh, that's it.
Everybody's done with it. So.
Oh, and do you live on Bogue Banks, or where do you live?
I do. I have a little place behind my shop, and right on the water, and then across the town, I have a house that goes through another town.
That's nice. Well, Tammy, Nicklow, thank you so much for coming on Richmond Business Babes. All the best to you and Brian in regards to the Island Encore Consignment Shop. We are so happy that you made the time to come on. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa, and I look forward to seeing you again.
Oh, yeah, you'll see me next year.
All right, I look forward to it. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of the day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Well, that was a fun show. We had two ladies who are operating their businesses in resort communities. The first one was Ann O'Neill, Crystal Coast Sanctuary in Beaufort, North Carolina, and then Tammy Nicklow of Island Encore Consignment Shop in Indian Beach, which is on the Bogue Banks, south of the Outer Banks. So if you've just tuned in and you've missed any portion of the show, you can always check out our podcasts on Richmond Business Babes. And then the podcast will eventually also be on the WRIR website. But I want to thank the remarkable Ron, my producer. And if you are a Richmond business babe, now you go get them.
All right. Thank you, Lisa. Now back to our programming. Say goodbye to your audience.